For this expedition, Pelagic Australis sailed 2 teams of scientists and conservationists from Cape Town to Gough Island, where they started a program to eradicate the invasive house mice. These are decimating the seabird population on the island. Last year, when COVID struck and the global lockdown shut down the world, logistical complexities meant the eradication program had to come to a sudden halt. Now, the teams were back together, and so the voyage could commence.
First off, we waved Skip Novak farewell as he and the first team headed out on the 1,400 nautical mile passage. Watching Pelagic sail away without us was a strange feeling, but we will talk about the reason behind that later on in the film. Whilst Pelagic Australis got underway and the team settled into life on board, Chris and I had a few days off before we packed our gear and headed off into a 14-day quarantine in separate accommodation. Can you open up the back? Just close. That can go in. Sorry, the other one can go in the front.
Right, ready for the journey?
Ready.
Off we go.
Here's the next 2.5 months.
So I'm in the quarantine hotel now. Diki and Nini just delivered the food for the first week. 3 boxes full of fresh stuff. Really nice. Yeah, we're fully equipped here. Washing machine, dryer, little kitchen, bathroom, even has a bathtub. Really nice. Yeah, and then the big room. A bit loud outside with a road underneath, but it was really, really nice. I think I can easily spend 2 weeks here going through all our old videos and pictures from the last season. Keep me busy. Yeah, not bad at all.
Whilst locked down in the Falklands last year and inspired by the many scientists and filmmakers we met, I started an online course studying zoology. Now, with 14 days available, some of the scientists had kindly arranged for a large box of books to be sent to my room. So whilst Chris was editing and with only one laptop between us, I was studying. It was such a great opportunity for me.
Hi everyone, we are now 1 week into our quarantine, and some might have wondered why Sophie and I are not in the same room. The reason behind that is the quarantine of 14 days was organized so just in case someone has COVID, goes into quarantine, they have enough time to recover and not be contagious at the end of it. Now if they would put Sophie and me in the same room and say, I have it when we go in, but she doesn't, and then after 3, 4, 5 days I'll pass it on to her, then she wouldn't have enough time to recover and or not being contagious anymore. So they would have to add days to the quarantine, which would mess up the whole schedule for everyone. And that is simply the reason why they separated us. We both enjoyed the 14 days quarantine. It was a welcome break for us. Nevertheless, we were extremely excited to sail away, and in no time at all we were checking out and our way to clear customs. Good morning.
Hi.
Ready for customs? We are not allowed to film inside the Customs and Immigrations office, but it was a quick affair due to the help of our agent and friend Manuel. From here, the minibuses took us to East Quay Boatyard, where Pelagic Australis was birthed. For most of the scientists, this was the first time they saw Pelagic Australis, and after 14 days of quarantine, everyone was excited to step on board.
Welcome on board.
We had to check the red boxes and immediately carry out a boot and shoe wash as part of the biosecurity measures. For today, what we do is next we do a bit of a domestic brief, so you guys know where everything is, how to use the toilets, the galley, just the orientation of the boat. And then we go into the safety brief, talking about fire, flooding, abandoning ship, man overboards, all the fun stuff. Yeah. Soon after, the safety brief started. Part of the safety brief is to open up a life jacket, to see how it operates, check its components, and to fit it correctly.
Crotch strap must be fastened. So you've got these jack stays that run either side inside, and you've also got the jack stays. Chris, could you just lift up the foot? That's it. The white ones here, they run outside from the stern all the way to the bow. So you should be able to be secured to the boat from the stern all the way forward.
As well as this, we cover the safety equipment on board. We are both RWA instructors and enjoy teaching the new crew, so they can be involved as much as possible on deck during our expeditions. We put an emphasis on winch safety, line handling, and the correct use of the coffee grinder. And then towards me, but we didn't engage the winch, so... the weather looks pretty light for the first few days. There's a good chance we'll be motoring or motor sailing by, I think, Wednesday late, Thursday early morning. We're going to get some wind and probably be just sailing without the engine. And we'll have to keep a lookout. There's a bit of a low over Gough Island at the moment for the weekend, so we'll try to avoid the worst weather. So we have to see if we go north or south, but that's something we'll have to decide in like 2 days or so. It looks pretty good for the first 48 hours.
After the weather brief, we slipped lines and made our way out of the harbour. Whilst we were in quarantine, Skip had prepared Pelagic Australis for the second expedition to Gough Island, so this time it was Skip who waved us goodbye. We passed the breakwater and headed out into the open ocean. Here, with all hands on deck, we quickly hoisted the main. Due to very light winds, we had to motor sail for the first day, and a part of our watch duties is to monitor the day tank and to top it up when required. It wasn't long before dusk fell and Pelagic carried us on our way.
The next morning, the wind increased. We killed the engine, unfurled our headsails, and Pelagic Australis took off, under full mainsail, staysail, and the mighty big GENOA. Yes, so it's day 2 sailing. We left yesterday. We had almost no wind for the first, 20 hours or so. This morning the wind picked up. We've got now a good 12-14 knots of breeze. We're flying along with the GENOA, staysail and the full main. Doing really good speeds, over 9 knots. Slightly in the wrong direction. We're doing about 275 to 80 off the ground. But still making great progress and getting closer to Gough Island.
Well, we're making our way to Gough Island, which is actually about 40 degrees south. So it's, starting to sail into the roaring 40s.
At the moment, to avoid bad weather, we're going pretty much due west.
Yeah.
So I think we've only made 200 miles towards our destination, but we've actually sailed quite a bit more.
In no time at all, the crew took to helming Pelagic and became active deckhands. We were quickly turning this group of scientists into keen sailors. As the wind picked up, all hands came together to reduce the sail area. And Pelagic relaxed, as she really enjoys a strong breeze in her sails.
Have you helmed before? Have you helmed before?
A couple of days ago.
I mean, before you came onto Pelagic.
Well, this is my first time on a sailboat, so...
Perfect, perfect. And enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
With the wind increasing even further, we had to put a second reef in.
But it wasn't long before our attention was drawn elsewhere. One of the reefing lines slipped down into the keel casing and jammed fast. Without wasting any time, we set to work to find a way to release it. After no success with the boat hook, this meant one of us had to climb down into the keel casing.
Down, we had to focus on the job at hand. Our solution was to secure a line using a rolling hitch and grind the reefing line out on the primary winch. With the reefing line free, we were able to hoist full sail again, and Pelagic took off as though she had been waiting in the starting blocks. As night fell and with an increase in wind, we reduced canvas. Each sail change is documented in the logbook. We had a few more days of fair weather sailing, and the scientists kept on helming their way to Gough Island. We had a small pod of dolphins that joined us. In part 2 of this expedition, you will see an extremely rare species of dolphin that came to play, and we caught them on camera.
The ocean keeps us on our toes, and in no time at all, the blue skies disappeared, the sea turned grey, and an army of squalls descended upon us. Can you just bear away to 120? What experience?
Seems to be relentless, this one.
Yeah. Well, it's because we're getting to the Norway
You're
Forties.
saturated.
Oh, could you come up number 10? Just don't want to lean over the chart table.
Yeah.
And then, the low cloud was here to stay. The final few days towards Gough were wet and windy. Below decks, the jobs carry on whatever the weather.
Blue one.
The scientists got stuck in cooking. They were
James,
certainly
what are you
earning their keep
cooking?
on board.
Some butternut soup.
Oh, we're having soup tonight. Is that because it's blown like 4-6?
Yeah, it's a good stormy day, good day for soup. It's one of my favourites.
Chris, watch change. Usually when on charter, Pelagic Australis runs with 3 professional crew on board, which means a watch system of 3 hours on and 6 hours off, day and night. So whilst the off watch is tucked up in their bunk, one of us is on watch, keeping a lookout, carrying out sail changes and all the necessary watch duties.
Right, Stefan, you fit to grind? Yeah. Lovely. What we'll do is we'll get the Yankee out. Okay, that's yours. Okay, ready? And go for it. And hold. It's good. You can take the winch handle out. And 2 safety turns on. In our final approach to Gough Island, the winds eased, and so a full mainsail was set. Okay, ready? And go. If it's too hard, go the other way. And hold. Job done. Now just to tidy up. As we ground on the main sheet, we realized the strop securing the clue to the boom had come loose. It was a quick job to secure it, but it shows you have to have your eye on everything. Even the ever faithful Pelagic will slip in the trick for us. We both enjoy deck work, and as Skip Novak says, without the help of electric or hydraulic winches, the crews stay fit.
With Gough Island just 50 nautical miles away, Chris now led a team brief to ensure we could disembark the crew quickly and safely, as there are no beach landings or even a safe anchorage. The island is fortified with cliffs and the ever-protective fur seals on its rocky shores.
Good morning.
Oh, your leg!
Guess what's on the horizon? Oh well, actually a bit closer than the horizon now.
Watch part 2 to see what it takes to get all the scientists and kit ashore, and find out whether we step foot on this remote and magical island.